Have you ever thought about where your produce comes from? Most grocery chains receive produce from various local and national farmers. In fact, there are about 3.4 million farmers in the United States today. But of that staggering number, only 45,000 are Black farmers. At the Better Buggy, we are a proud group of Atlanta-based Black-owned farmers, selling produce locally and nationwide. Our easy-to-navigate online platform makes it easy for you to make a one-time purchase or to simplify your life by subscribing to our weekly produce box. Whichever frequency you choose, you can order with confidence, knowing you'll receive 100% organic farm-fresh produce. If you're looking for a thoughtful gift for a loved one that they'd actually find useful, be sure to pop by our online store where you can snag a gift card your recipient can use to order their own produce and t-shirts. Ready to start supporting local Black-owned farms and making healthier food decisions? Visit thebetterbuggy.com now to start shopping.
How are you?
Fred Romankowitz was on his way to get vaccinated.
I was going there and I didn't feel right.
He got a COVID-19 test instead. It was positive.
You were right at the finish line.
There was a lot of emotional baggage that went with that.
He says he got it from his 19-year-old son, Andy. His wife, Betsy, was fully vaccinated with the Moderna vaccine. She, too, got COVID-19 with only minor symptoms. The virus hammered Fred, 54 years old, and no underlying conditions.
I felt like I went 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. I was absolutely physically exhausted. I mean, I felt like I had been beat up. I had felt like I had been in a car accident. I mean, it was crazy.
Tina Catrone thinks her son's soccer club brought the coronavirus into her home.
Even though we're all masked up, we're on the sidelines, everyone's yelling.
Her boys, Levi and Jesse, got it with no symptoms. Her husband, Jason, got a bad case. Hers was worse.
They said, yeah, you have pneumonia caused from COVID, so we're going to admit you. And here I am.
How surprised are you to be in this bed?
Oh, very shocked.
The 44-year-old mother of two with no underlying conditions, outdoorsy, active, never sick, adhered to coronavirus guidelines, never thought she would get COVID or that it would hit her this hard.
It's weird. It's almost like you feel like you're suffocating a little bit. I don't know. It's hard to explain because you get really lightheaded and you're just like, woo, clammy.
2 cases of thousands in the Wolverine state, now in its 3rd coronavirus surge.
We're not to where we were back in November, December, but I would say that the rate of increase seems more drastic than it did back then.
At Lansing's Sparrow Health System, COVID-19 admissions have risen 600% in a month.
And so we're trying to see where we can pull extra staff from.
The hospital had disbanded its COVID incident command center. With cases piling up, they've reestablished it.
In December, we had a high of close to 150 patients. Right now, we have 95. And at the rate it's going, if it doesn't abate, we'll be at 150 patients in 15 days.
15 days?
Yes.
And do you know where the top of the
We
curve
do not
is?
know where the top of the curve is.
Dr. Justin Skrasinski specializes in caring for patients with COVID at Beaumont Health Royal Oak, part of the largest healthcare system in Michigan. COVID tests of some patients sent for DNA analysis indicate a worrying sign. A sharp increase in the new, more contagious, possibly more lethal B.1.1.7 variant.
Right now, the regular COVID test we do, that's still just showing COVID, no COVID. But we do send a lot of those out to the state, and we're seeing something like 40% of our patients now B.1.1.7.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so big percent.
As older Michiganders and those with underlying conditions get vaccinated, hospitalizations for them have plummeted. Now the hospitalized, typically younger and healthier.
Each surge has brought different challenges, and when we addressed them, we felt very strong that we had this disease under attack, but then we get thrown a curveball.
For healthcare workers, an exhausting year, getting longer.
The first day I came in and saw that our unit was full of COVID patients again, it was really difficult. I had tears in my eyes.
22 years a registered nurse.
Yes.
How hard has the last year been?
Harder.
Why?
Because people are dying. I'm sorry.
Why is this so hard to talk about?
Because I just saw it yesterday.
What did you see?
I had a patient that passed.
The weight of so much sickness and death, that burden getting only heavier.
It is so difficult to speak to those healthcare professionals who have been out there day after day for the last year. Those two last nurses that you heard from, they both got COVID during the last year. So not only is the stress physical and mental, but it's to their health as well. Many other nurses that we spoke to also got coronavirus. That last nurse you heard from, she said she wants a normal day. She just wants to come in and work with somebody who's getting over gallbladders.
All right. So I'm going to stop it right there, y'all. So you heard that. Now, Michigan, where this video is out of from CNN, now is the epicenter in America with the most COVID cases and the fastest rise that are occurring in the country. And, you know, they're not that far away. We're not that far away from them in New Jersey. Like I said, my entire state is in the red. So that tells you it's rising everywhere. So the biggest leap is in Michigan. So, for example, the Michigan Health and Hospital Association reports. Now, what's different is it's hitting the young now a lot more than older people. So they said they see a rise in people among the age of 30 to 39. There were 26 daily admissions based on a 7-day average during the fall and winter surge, while today there are 43 admissions in the same age bracket. So it's hitting the young. The 40 to 49 age bracket is seeing a similar rise, with 58 being admitted daily compared to 33 during the autumn surge. For those 60 and older, hospitalizations have declined sharply as vaccinations have risen. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services says 35.2% of Michigan adults have received at least one vaccine, and 21.5% have been fully vaccinated. So each surge has brought different challenges. We felt very strong that we had this disease under attack, but we get thrown a curveball. So they thought, I guess, when they saw that drop over the last several weeks, that they were coming out of the woods, but now everything is surging up. And they said this surge is way faster than anyone that we experienced back in 2020. So that pretty much should tell you this is the variant. And remember, it's fast moving, it spreads faster. So this is what they're seeing in Michigan. Wow. You know, I remember when this first hit, and I was listening to the reports back in 2020 around March when everything had locked down. And the concern was heavily on the elderly, if you remember. It was heavily on the elderly. And then it switched from elderly, especially white males, it switched from that to black people, which I never believe and I still don't believe. And then, you know, if you remember, Trump was talking about, oh, send the kids back to school. They don't get it as much and all that stuff. And now you see with the new variants, and I'm sure there's far more than we've been told about. I don't believe the number that they're giving us. So, you know, now it is hitting the young. It is hitting the young. You know, a group that they claim was safe, not safe, y'all. Not safe. Mm-mm-mm. So I do feel for these healthcare workers because they are seeing this day in and day out. Every day. It's nonstop with people coming into the hospital with COVID, and there's no end. So, I would imagine they are seeing some of the most severe cases. Being a healthcare worker, a nurse, a doctor, they're probably seeing cases that we just can't imagine. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this news on Michigan. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next video. And stay safe, everybody. Peace, family.